Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
And Marianne behind the camera.
And Sister Girl is at the side here holding the camera. Thank you. Mr. Ralph is out busy tonight, so anyways, Marianne, you do a great job. But we'll get Ralph back in on it next time. So we are baking tonight, and we're going to do up a cake. We're going to have a little fun with cake mix, okay, Mare?
Okay.
And so here's what we're making. We're going to make a double chocolate orange Bundt cake.
Sounds yummy.
Doesn't it? I like orange and chocolate together. You could, here's why. So at our local Kroger, you know, the holidays are long gone, but they still have fruitcake supplies like 80% off. So for like 49 cents, I got this wonderful package of orange peel. And this is something that you would use in a fruitcake. I'm going to work it into the chocolate cake. If you didn't have that, you can omit totally and just go straight up chocolate. Other good things that are mixed in here, I've done it with dried cranberries. Really good. Is another nice combination that goes with chocolate. You could even put in a little coconut. But we're going to get by with a little help from our friends. And our friends tonight is cake mix. And so that's where we're going to start. But come on over, Mare. Let's we'll get this party started. So we've got the old Hamilton Beach Mix Master, and here's how we're going to play this game. I've got 4 eggs, and what do we do when we bake with eggs, Mare? We let these eggs
warm up to room temperature.
That's right. So these eggs have been out for maybe about 35 or 40 minutes. They're at room temperature, and so we got 4 eggs. I'm going to put these here in our mixing bowl. Get this started. Wash my hands. There you go. You get a little of that action there, Mare. For our friends who love the vintage appliances. So this is a Hamilton Beach. To the eggs, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. Okay? This really, not only does this really give a wonderful richness to the cake, Mare, it also really gives a nice moistness too. So, you know, how can anything with sour cream in it be bad? Am I right?
Right, yeah.
All right, so we get our sour cream in. Then what I have is I have a 1/2 cup of water and a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Okay? We're going to put that in there. So we got the eggs, the sour cream, the vegetable oil, all here. Let's get this good and blended. I've got the Westinghouse terrace top preheated to 350 degrees. Again, we're going to use a Bundt pan. If you didn't have a Bundt pan, you could use a tube pan. You could use a couple of loaf pans, or you could even use a 9x13. But we're going to do it in a Bundt pan. To me, when you make a 9x13 cake, it seems to needs to be frosted.
Yeah.
A Bundt cake, you really don't need to frost. You can dust it with a little
powdered sugar,
or sometimes I mix powdered sugar and cocoa powder together and dust it that way. All right, Mare, take a look at this. Okay, so here is our oil, water, egg, sour cream blended together. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have our cake mix. Now, you can use any kind of cake mix you like if you have a favorite brand. Cake mix, Marianne, is one of those things that they, a couple years ago, downsized.
But they still sell it for the same price.
That's right. So we're going to add a chocolate cake mix, devil's food cake in there, and for more, again, to help with moisture, chocolate cakes can dry out. To help with moisture and flavor, we're adding a small instant chocolate pudding. Okay, this is a regular, what is it, like 3.5 ounce? I do think 3.9 ounce. Okay, and then always add this when I'm using a cake mix. This is Mom's trick. Remember, Mare?
Yep.
You put in an extra teaspoon of baking powder and an extra teaspoon of baking soda, just to ensure. We don't know how long these cake mixes have been hanging out in the store, and even if the date is good, we just for good measure we put the soda and the powder in there. Now we're going to gently bring this together in the mixing bowl. Scraping as we go. Of course, if you don't have a stand mixer and you only have a hand mixer, that would work fine too. This is a kind of a thicker batter, as you can see here, Mira.
Yeah.
Makes it a dense cake, but a really rich and moist cake. All right, I'm going to let this go another minute or so, and then we'll come back and we'll stir in. I've got 1 cup plus, because there was a little extra in the bag. A cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and then I got 4 ounces here of orange peel that I'm going to add in. So we'll come on back and we'll fold those in by there. Here's our batter, nice and mixed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in our chocolate chips here and our orange peel. Get a fork. And this is sort of candied, you know. Mm-hmm. You can see the
glaze on it.
Yeah, the glaze. This is one of our ingredients when we make our fruit cakes, which is a tradition of ours. You know, we were talking about, you had mentioned some things you thought about that would be good to put in here. You know, other than the oranges and cranberries. What was it? It was
dried cherries or maraschino cherries.
Excellent.
And then you might, instead of putting powdered sugar on top of the cake, you can make a peanut butter icing put on top of the cake.
That would be wonderful. I think we talked about, you could put, of course you could put nuts in here. Okay, so we're just going to stir in all of this. There we go. All right. Now we've got our Bundt pan, which we want to flour and oil and flour. I'm going to take a shortcut and use a baking spray here that has the flour in it already. You could do this with oil and flour the old-fashioned way, but this just saves a little time. Okay, so here we go. So now we have our pan prepared, and so now let me get our batter in here. I'll try to go around. Thank you. Okay. Again, we've got that oven preheated to 350. This is going to bake for 45 to 55 minutes. We do the toothpick test, Mare, right?
Right.
And to make sure that it's done, which is just inserting a toothpick in the highest part of the cake here. And if it pulls out clean, then we know we're good. So, okay. I got most of this here. I'm going to give this a little shake. Okay.
Do you give it a shake to level it out?
Yeah, kind of to evenly sort of spread the batter around. Okay.
So the bottom is flat?
Yep. In we go. Like I said, center of the oven. We'll set the timer for, like I said, 45 to 55 minutes. We'll put it to 45 and give it a check and see how it's doing. So we're making ourselves a chocolate orange Bundt cake. Our cake's in the oven, baking away, doing its thing. But while it's doing that, Mayor, I thought I wanted to do something, especially this year. I wanted to work something in to our videos, a little vintage appliance tour. I get a lot of questions about the vintage appliances that we use on Cavalcade Food, which are wonderful. So I wanted to, when we have time, to show a little bit more about the appliances we're using in detail. Okay? So let's look at this mixer. This is a Hamilton Beach Model G, and it's from the 50s. And it's a stand mixer, although it does, see what you can do? You can slide this right off and use it as a hand mixer. Also, if you want to, it's got a bracket on the back here, and it just goes right onto the stand like so. But it's kind of a heavy hand mixer, so I have lighter hand mixers to use. So I really like to use this as a stand mixer. So take a look at the base though, Mayor. I really love the design. It's almost Art Deco. Do you see these little flares that kind of come out the back as like a teardrop? You see this wonderful shape? And the whole thing is designed that way. The design of these products were so wonderful. The industrial designers that came up with these really put a lot of thought into them, and they were really beautiful in so many ways, in addition to being functional. So this, I don't know if you can see down here, this says bowl control. And basically, a lot of stand mixers they called it different things, but this was a bowl control. And what that does is that swivels the rolling platform here, and depending on the bowl that you're using to mix. So like for our cake, we use the large mixing bowl. See this kind of protruding circle on the bottom?
Yes.
That fits right into this groove. That's what kind of helps keep the bowl in place and lock it in place. So the small bowl also has the same kind of raised edge, and you can see it has another circle in there, and it fits in like so. Okay? That's just to hold it in place. The bowls, and I don't know if you can see this or not, Mayor. You have to come over here with the camera, and I don't know if they can, but it says right here, Pyrex, registered trademark, Hamilton Beach, Racine, Wisconsin, made in USA. So these bowls for Hamilton Beach mixers were made by Pyrex for Hamilton Beach. Pyrex also made bowls for Sunbeam, Westinghouse, maybe General Electric too. What I love about the Hamilton Beach bowls is rather than just having a plain straight side, see how they have this beautiful cascade? Yes. Again, you know, kind of Art Deco, kind of goes with the design of the mixer. Then you have, this is what's unique with the Hamilton Beach, you have a double beater that is a one-piece unit. So the beaters are attached to each other, unlike the Sunbeam and some of the other mixers of the time that had two separate beaters. This had one piece. That's how it was designed. You'll notice on the bottom, this has a little rubber or a nylon button. That's designed so that when the beater is in the bowl, it goes around the edge and it grabs it and helps to spin the bowl as the beaters spin. See that?
Yes.
So to put this on, basically, you have a center hole, and then you have the two holes here, which in the motorized part, and it goes in. This is a set screw, Mary. You just put that in, just like, watch them. There you go, just like so. Then you tighten it up, and now it's locked in. There they go. Again, with the nylon button on the outside, that's why you have your bowl control. So you lock your bowl in place, and you put that so that the outer beater is alongside the edge of the glass bowl. See what happens to the bowl? It's spinning. I don't know if you can tell, but the bowl is turning this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so the beaters are turning and the bowls are turning. So you have kind of a double turn action. And then it works the same way with the small bowl as well, if you had a smaller mixing job. So anyways, this was a little tour of the Hamilton Beach Model G.
And the smaller bowl has a spout on it.
Yes, it does. You're right. That's a difference. There's no spout on the larger bowl, but this does have a little pour spout. So this is a great mixer. Like I said, it can be used as a hand mixer or a stand mixer. Up here, Mary, I don't know if the camera might not be able to pick up the detail. It says Mix Guide, and as you turn this lever down, it tells you right through this little window. The camera probably won't pick it up. It'll tell you what the speeds are for. So slow mixing, heavy batters, prepared mixes, juicing fruits, icings and creaming, whipping cream, whipping potatoes, candy, beating eggs, cooked icing, and the last one, full speed, is attachments. So they sold attachments, as a lot of companies did, that would actually go in this open hole right here. Could be a juicer, could be a grinder, could be a coffee mill, all kinds of extra things that you could use this mixer for, in addition to it just mixing things and beating things. But anyways, we just thought it'd be fun to take a closer look at this beautiful old Hamilton Beach mixer, and I'm starting to smell that cake baking in the oven, so we'll come back. So I'm going to shut the oven off here. I checked it at 45 minutes and wasn't quite there, so you know what, we went about another 10 minutes, so it's been about 55 minutes, and it's good now. Look at that. Isn't that nice and chocolatey? And so toothpick came out clean. Another good way, signs to look for, has the cake began to pull away from the edge of the pan, and when you press the cake gently, does it spring back? See how it does, Mare?
Yes.
That's another good telltale sign that the cake is done baking. We're going to let the cake hang out in the pan for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, okay? And then we're going to come back and get it out of the Bundt pan, but it needs to cool for just a few minutes. Up the center here, away from the tube of the pan, just to kind of help it along here so it doesn't stick. All right, now we're going to do the flip onto the rack. Wow.
Beautiful.
Isn't that a beaut? So, you can see some of the little orange peel kind of poking out there?
Yeah.
So we're going to let this cool completely. And then you can just stop there if you want. Now, What I'm probably going to do is give it a dusting with some powdered sugar. You could do make a concoction of half powdered sugar, half cocoa powder mixed together, kind of as a light brown color, and use that. That gives a little extra chocolate. You could make a very simple icing or glaze for this out of powdered sugar and a little milk. Mary, you suggested you could do a peanut butter frosting if you want to do the chocolate peanut butter.
Yeah, I don't know how it would be with the orange in there.
But if this was just a plain chocolate,
right?
You know, so there's a lot of directions you can go. Like I said, this is for a big meeting that we have at work tomorrow, so I'm gonna do something low maintenance and easy, and I'm just gonna give it a nice dusting with confectioner's or powdered sugar. But you could take it in many different ways. So you see, it wasn't that hard. A few ingredients. We got a lot of help from the box of Devil's Food Cake, and we made a really interesting, unique cake. And believe me, I've made a lot of these. They are a crowd pleaser. They will enjoy. So, you know what? Thanks for being a part of this one. And Marianne, thank you, sister, for working the camera.
You're welcome.
And we'll get Ralph back on his job next time. And thank you all, and we'll see you next time right here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye.